What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And wow, today it just seems like crypto just over the past couple of days has just completely gone really south on us here. So if you're like most people, shout out, leave a like or comment if you're losing money. Hit in below in this video if you woke up this morning and your portfolio is down even more. Well, if you're probably like most people. But look, that's just, it really depends on where and what your time frame is. I think overall, pretty much how I've positioned myself. Granted, I haven't been in crypto for years like some people, but how I'm positioning myself is trying to really see where money's going to be. But it's like lately, everywhere you look, you got FUD. You got FUD here. Altcoins predicted to tank 90% by Arthur Hayes. You got $102 million in liquidations, push Bitcoin below 42,000 as Ethereum goes under 3250. Boom, you got Bitcoin tanks to 42K for 3 reasons. JP Morgan has bearish warnings about ETH. Well, let's just actually see, because look, you're going to have FUD like this. In a gloomy Medium post, former BitMEX CEO Arthur Hayes predicted that altcoins could crash 90% from where they are trading right now. Hayes is also skeptical of diamond hands being able to save Bitcoin from a calamitous fall. He argues that institutional investors will not hesitate to dump their positions due to changing market conditions. He says they don't believe in or hold any allegiance to Lord Satoshi. That said, he believes that Bitcoin and Ethereum, the two flagship cryptocurrencies, will decline much less compared to alternative coins. If I believe that Bitcoin could trade below 30,000 and Ether below 2,000 in a 3 to 6 month time horizon, I will dump all of my shitcoins. These shitcoins could go down 75% to 90% in a true crypto risk off environment. Forget about it. So the U.S. Federal Reserve's, like lately, that seems to be what obviously most of this concern is. Obviously, we talked about yesterday's video, the minutes being released. And, it's like we already knew a lot of this stuff was going to be happening. But the minutes released, and, essentially they're considering raising rates this year. And I find that I find it very likely that they will. And I know some of you had commented yesterday, mortgage rates used to be where good credit card rates were. So it will be interesting. And so that kind of fear of, well, is the Fed going to continue to buy bonds and continue to buy mortgage-backed securities and continue to keep money moving and liquidity moving into other capital markets? Obviously, that flows over into crypto still. So just overall, crypto is still a really small space compared to other asset classes and other capital markets right now. So, short term, what I predict is that we're really going to see just sideways. I'm not like a technical analysis expert, so I'm not going to claim here. I'm definitely learning how to read the charts better, but I'm not going to sit here and try to say, I can read the charts and predict it. Like, there's people that are way more skilled at that than I am. I look at things more macro and just like common sense, like I like to research and I like to see, and just overall, if you can connect the dots and you see where all these partnerships are going, if we're bears for the next 6 months, 12 months, I'm not selling anything. The things that I buy, when I bought them, when I invested in them, I was like, you know what? If shit hit the fan, and I got to hold these things for the next, through whatever, however long this bear market takes, right? However long that takes, I believe in the projects. I believe in the partnerships. I see where things are going, and I'm like, I'm going to just hold through. I'm just going to hold through and keep buying it, like, could things get worse economically? Who knows, who really can see the future? But really what's happening right now with the Fed, just turning increasingly hawkish, that's being the main headwind for the cryptocurrency market. Crypto luminary has pointed out the positive correlation between the growth of the Fed balance sheet and Bitcoin. So he's basically saying that, well, now that the central bank is persistently dialing back its bond buying, the money printer narrative is no longer relevant. if the M2 money supply is set to hit 0%, or if the M2 rather is set to hit 0%, and possibly even go negative in short order, the natural conclusion is that Bitcoin is likely to go much lower as well. So, it looks like he says central banks around the world are now hell-bent on combating inflation, which has emerged as public enemy number one. And obviously the effect that has had on the market has just been, you see, most things here are in the red. Most things are in the red. So, just kind of going forward into this year, it's like the central banks are going to have to do something about inflation. So he said the villagers woke up because the cost of meat, veggies, a taxi ride, rents, and other essentials is rising faster than wages. So we'll see. We'll see what actually happens. You got this right here, $102 million liquidations push Bitcoin down. So that basically a lot of leverage traders have been liquidated following recent negative events. You see right there, according to data from CoinGlass over the past hour, and Bitcoin and Ethereum futures trades have seen a $102 million in liquidations. So that you see has pushed Bitcoin to the 41.3 level right now, which is 41. We're at 41.6 right now. So definitely interesting times. Some people, this main sentiment is if we bust below 40,000, we've got to hold that 40,000 support for it to, that's a really strong zone of support. And really got to get over the 47,000 mark to get back more into an overall bullish momentum. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. You got this Bitcoin tanks. JP Morgan has bearish warning about ETH. Let's actually see what this is, because I found that was interesting. They're saying, I'm not even going to try to say this guy's name, but Nicholas, analyst at JP Morgan Chase, believes that Ethereum will continue losing its dominance in the DeFi sector. Interesting. According to him, since the sharding phase of the Ethereum network will be launched only in 2023, by that time it's going to be too late for the current leader to catch up to the rest of the market. I agree. I think if ETH can't release their next phase, the ETH 2.0, and like we've talked about in other Casper videos, and this is something I'm staying up to date on, if Ethereum cannot get that 2.0 release out and it doesn't go well, then they're going to continue to lose market share to other systems, other ecosystems like Casper, like XDC, because those platforms are already doing things that ETH 2.0 hopes that it can do. So it's like people that say, well, if ETH 2.0 comes out this year, what if it's next year? They are not going to be able to survive as the behemoth that they are if they do not get that release out and if it does not go out well. So that's what they're saying. It could be too late for the current leader to catch up to the rest of the market due to the rapid growth of its competitors, Terra, Binance, Smart Chain, Solana, Ethereum dominance. It's down. So as the network continues to face severe competition, JP Morgan expects that in 2022, Ethereum will take a bearish turn. That's fantastic. That's fantastic news. If you don't hold Ethereum, obviously I'm being sarcastic there because, I still hold some Ethereum. So we were like anybody, you wanted it to go up. So we were all looking forward to this alt season. So short term looks like we're going to have to just buckle down here. But there is other positive news. More money is coming into the space, and we'll just see more utility type companies be the ones that survive. Large venture capital firm ready to invest $900 million in cryptocurrency industry. You see here the general partner of Andreessen Horowitz, Katie Hahn, has set a goal of raising at least $900 million for numerous crypto investments fund. So the $900 million is going to be divided among two funds. The first is going to utilize $300 million for investing in cryptocurrency startups. Another part of the collective funds are going to be used for making investments in larger companies or digital assets that have already found their place on the market. Well, look, wanted to bring up this as well. Solana explains reasons behind the recent network slowdown. Now, they had even more issues. I think this is like the fourth time their system has crashed. And so Solana has had definitely, arguably, one of the best runs in 2021. It was just phenomenal. So, to see, and a lot of people made a lot of money on it, but for them to say and be purported as Ethereum killer when they're crashing, that's important to know. The systems you want to actually the systems of the new financial system cannot be built on things that are crashing. So that's why I find it really interesting. They're saying Solana explains the reasons behind the most recent slowdown in the network's performance. Has been a tough week. You see here the network performance slowed down massively. It was first reported on the Solana community's Telegram group, and many speculated another, basically a denial of service attack. So hackers, they're saying, continue to attack it, and conversations surrounding Solana's network issues have been going on since the beginning of the year. They've confirmed that the platform is currently suffering degraded performance as a result of an increase in high compute transactions. So they typically boast around 50,000 TPS, but following the slowdown, the rise in high computer transactions led to a reduction in the network capacity in the transactions per second to only several thousand transactions per second. So it just led to some failed transactions for users. Look, their co-founder confirms it wasn't actually a denial of service. It's important to understand the slowdown in the blockchain networks are not new, but the fact that Solana, the purported ETH killer, has suffered multiple instances of slowdown in the past 6 months alone has concern for many community members, and definitely should, because if you're going to be, again, long term, we want to be, especially if we could be going into a period of inflation with higher rates. I want to be we're having to hold assets long term. I'm going to look at things that have the highest likelihood of surviving, because we know regulation is coming. We know 2022, if anything, let's say we continue to have news like this, we've got inflation rising, we got the Fed tapering bonds, and then now we have regulations coming into the space too. Now's the time to really be examining what you're getting into, and really getting into those companies that have those long-standing partnerships. It's all in who you know. It's all in who you know. Even in the business world, it's all in who you know. Definitely in the business world, you survive. Relationships are what keep you going. Partnerships are what keep you going, right? So if you're getting into some more speculative plays, or looking at smaller companies that really don't have those partnerships yet, we look at, and a lot of you watching this, I know you're invested in all those utility coins, ISO coins and stuff. That's where I feel like the value is long term. We see here Cosmos and this Ethereum competitor altcoins to focus on a mid-market crash. So here's this economist and trader Alex Kruger is urging crypto investors to focus on specific crypto assets such as Ethereum. Let's hope it has a good year this year. Competitors as the market trends downward. So he is actually telling his Twitter followers that look at Ethereum alternatives like Cosmos and Phantom. Now, like I said earlier in the video, I still hold some ETH, so I wanted to have a good year, because still, if ETH has a good year, other coins, other companies are going to have a good year as well. But he's just saying, look, if Ethereum goes down, and it definitely looks like it is kind of heading that way, look at some others. Now, Phantom and Cosmos, I haven't really dug as deep into those. I have looked at them as far as interoperability, and so I feel like their ecosystems definitely have a lot of value and have a lot of potential. How much potential long term has yet, really, that's yet to be seen, because again, you want to look at the ecosystems that will be completely interoperable, and even these kind of solutions don't, even though they purport that cross-chain interoperability, a lot of them, they're not truly completely interoperable. So that's going to be important. And then just making sure that, I think a lot of the regulated cryptos in the future, for them to be safe, are going to have to be the types that are more secure, that are more green, energy efficient. So now I know Cosmos is all of those. So it'll be interesting to see where it actually does this year compared to others. You see here now. I'm really excited. Alliance Block had a great year. I really feel like Alliance Block is going to be one of those correct positions this year. It's going to be one of those correct hedges this year because it is tied to the financial system, right? So if we have a massive crash, most of the companies that I'm invested in are connected to banking and financing. So, because I see where things are going, I'm in that all day, every day. So I see where things are going. That's going to be where I want to position myself. Not financial advice, of course. This is just me, just my opinion, just from my own research. But Alliance Block is one of those where it's like Alliance Block will be double digits. It would not surprise me in this year to see this in the double digits, just from all of their partnerships. And you see here they just released their kind of end-of-year recap for 2021, and they had a really great year. They said their vision, they started to just have a brand new, fully decentralized and globally compliant, has to be compliant, of course, evolved into an even more ambitious and holistic approach that we're cultivating every day. So to just kind of recap, the total value locked of all liquidity mining as a service campaigns, that was one of the biggest things that they launched this year, $60 million in 2021. That's really good. So they've done a lot. They've had their data tunnel. We talked about that closely, which allows you to monetize your data right there. You see monetize our data and the data of others. That's going to be it's pretty exciting. The future is going to be an exciting place if we can, reset our financial system so that everyone can more fairly just take advantage of opportunities right now, where it's not so much slanted towards just a top tier of people, and it's more distributed. If you're working hard, you got to work hard, you got to apply yourself, of course, but that's kind of what's happening right here. So it's really nice that we have new ways of making money in the new financial system, monetizing your data and the data of others, right? If you know where to look, there's a lot of opportunity. That's the exciting thing, right? They've had the bridge here. We were not happy with centralized solutions that fragmented the industry further. They had a decentralized DEX that they built. They even had their funders, which is an essential product. It enables decentralized investment and lending borrowing in the DeFi space. So they just help other projects get going. So they've had a really good year. I'm really excited about Alliance Block and being around to see what happens to them. I feel like in 2022, really depending on where the overall market, we're at $186 million value, market cap right now. So even at and that's at 54 cents. So even if we go to let's say 1.7 billion, that puts us at an upside of 806%, $4.93. So that's going to be, that's going to be big. So you see right here, shout out to Utility Theory. He says companies need to dump the huge wasteful 8-liter gas engine and move to a fuel-efficient electric Tesla car that's running in a regulated environment with Tier 1 banks. XDC greater than ETH. He's, you could wait for ETH 2.0 for another 6 years, or you can migrate to the XDC network in 10 minutes. It's a superior layer with 2-second transfer speed, 2,000 TPS, and nearly zero fees. So we're going to see Zenfin just really, especially with their Trade Finex powered by the XDC protocol, we're going to see them take over massive space when it comes to like global and trade finance. You got to understand XDC, HBAR, Casper, they're kind of all going after different use cases. You see here, speaking of Casper, 60,000 Casper holders strong today. So you say this quarter is going to be awesome. 60,000 holders for these. So all of these different, solutions that are kind of trying to go after ETH, they are doing it in different ways though. So I feel like there's enough room, because even with the space being as small as it is now, dipping down below, under 2 trillion, there's still going to be that kind of, opportunity for these different types of protocols. XTC is going to be one of them. Tokenizing security, just what they're going after in the trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. If you want I mean, this is about the closest thing you could get to generational wealth accumulation potential right here. Is just stacking these things, stacking them. Even if we go more and prices remain low, view it as a blessing, because it's still going to be probably a few years before we really start seeing mass adoption of these systems, guys. So listen, that's really all I got for today. Thanks for coming by and just kind of looking and seeing what's going on. This is, again, kind of an exciting time, kind of scary for sure. Where do we go long term from here? Again, it's just like anything. Crypto, long term adoption is in the works. It's happening. It's just not going to it's not going to happen overnight. This, I feel like if we just remain patient, I know everyone is saying that for a long time, remain patient, but that's what we have to do. I don't plan on selling anything, even if we don't keep pumping back up here. Something's got to give. There's going to be a catalyst. We've got other things happen. We've got the XRP lawsuit. Who knows? It's time to hang tight and not lose faith. Now's the time, especially even if you're in the red. All right, tomorrow we could wake up and everything could be in the green. So leave a like on this video. If you've watched here to the end, thanks again so much. Leave a like. Love to hear from you too. Read every single one of your comments, and I'll see you on the next video.